But is it really so? Let's find out the truth. And in the true spirit of our sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, what better way than to ask our Janta Janardhan?
For government, policy paralysis.
Hopeless.
Corruption.
Bribe.
Corruption. Sir. Definitely opportunity.
Competition, crisis.
Thanda.
सभी लोग पैसे के बारे में देखते हैं.
Employment.
So why is there a negative bias about the government being the bigger devil? Let's quote from the words of one of our most popular ex-prime ministers. If 100 rupees is spent by the central government for public welfare, only 1 rupee reaches the targeted persons. Considering that the government is not particularly interested about welfare, that doesn't sound like much money leakage, right?
Let's look at some bigger amounts now, and some wacky and intelligent ideas our government had. A popular leader from Bihar. He knew how important it is to lead the life of his subjects and understand their problems. The only difference being, his subjects included cows as well. He took fodder meant for the cows and, for lack of a better word, fed himself. In the process, we had a bunch of angry cows who vowed never to vote for their Neta again, and a leader richer by 950 crore rupees.
Still not convinced with the mishandled monetary amounts? Don't be. Mera Bharat to hai hi mahan. It was a moment of pride for India when they got the opportunity to host the Commonwealth Games for the first time. It was an opportunity to showcase infrastructure and hospitality to the world. But our intelligent ministers decided to focus only on the word opportunity, a bit too personally. Our sports minister used his business acumen to build virtual companies and infrastructure, thus gobbling up 70,000 crore rupees of our nation's common wealth. Now the amounts look better, but do not underestimate our kings. Now this is something fresh and hot. Our telecom sector was heavily regulated, but by 1994, the process of deregulation had started gradually for the 2G spectrum. There was of course general jubilation in the market because of the cheap availability of cell phones to the masses and the prospect of improved communications. But by 2010, we had witnessed the return of Raja Hindustani. At the expense of public coffers, he had tweaked contract details and made 1.76 lakh crore rupees. Do try counting the number of zeros in that digit. Let's move on from our Raja to the Maharaja. Being a Maharaja, you don't really care about the money and instead concentrate on your lazy and luxurious life. Yes, we are talking about our very own Air India. Our bureaucrats were too conscious about enjoying their privileged status and being treated the Maharaja way. Complacency and inefficiency crept in, and general passengers continued to be harassed. And today, our Maharaja also stands with a begging bowl in his hand.
On the topic of airlines, now let us slowly shift our focus from government to business leaders. Our most charismatic Indian business tycoon started his glamorous airline, more popular for its air hostesses than anything else. Our king of good times, however, failed to make profit in any single year. And now Vijay Mallya had to quietly let go of his pretty sidekicks. In a humorous take, KF Airlines became KFC Airlines.
Let's look a bit beyond India now to search for some more situations where both the government and the markets drowned hand in hand. So we land at the most developed economic nation of the world. Roll back to 2008. The government and its regulatory institutions fell for the greed of development. Home mortgage loans were given to low-income people against their homes as collateral. Private banks as part of the market played their part to the fullest to show better transactions in their books. Risk was the flavor of the moment, and every bank decided to have its share of Tufani in home loan selling. And then suddenly, the day the bubble burst, the castles made in the air started collapsing. And as they collapsed, a chain reaction followed. They pulled down markets, huge companies like Lehman Brothers, and left a deep hole in the global economy. As if America wasn't enough, several Europeans joined the League too. If America was a crisis of the past, it wouldn't be wrong to say that Europe is a crisis of the present, future, and beyond. It all started with the formation of the Eurozone, which was a monetary union without a fiscal union. Then there were loans, and of course, every country takes loans for personal development. So now what? Time to repay. The typical mentality is, let's collect the interest first. But where is the interest? Okay, so let's try and get the principal amount back. But where is the money? Everybody saw it going in. Europe is indeed magical. If you think the magic is over, think again. There's much more in store for you. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the ultimate in alchemy. The conversion of money to pigs. Presenting to you, Europe, the David Blaine of continent.
While our governments are so proactive in creating such mess-ups, how can markets be left far behind? Let's talk about a particular example. They committed to produce energy and light up people's lives. Yes, Enron it is. What they didn't tell us initially was that they were not only good at generating energy, but also cooking. Yes, cooking delicious books of accounts. And suddenly, in 2001, the myth was busted. Enron obviously couldn't afford to stay on anymore. The craze of westernization was catching up in India fast. Our own Ramalingam Raju decided to chant Satyam Sharam Scandalam. He kept on inflating assets virtually and played with his company's balance sheet at his own will till 2009, when he confessed to his amazing skills in financial accounting. To put it simply, there was nothing right on the left side of the balance sheet and nothing left on the right side. The corporation once again proved that it is not trustworthy for public and shareholders' money.
The corporations were also not content just with themselves. They started influencing governments in regulation and decision making. The perception grew after 2008 that markets were perpetuating social inequality through greed. These sentiments grew so strong that the Occupy Wall Street movement became a focal point for the common man's frustration, forcing the government to stand up and take notice.
So who is the lesser devil among government and markets? None. It is all about money, honey. With power comes the chance of making money and misusing others' money. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. We, for the development of our society, need both government and markets. They need to complement each other in the right spirit in developing economies and the nation. We have seen governments bailing out industries in the time of crisis and markets helping governments raise funds when they need them. And to maintain them in the right spirit, what we need are proper regulations so that none of the agencies can unnecessarily exploit public resources, present, past or future. And of course we need the hope and belief to support them generate public good. Anyway, they have jointly made our lives much better.